But yeah, we're talking about the first live-action Scooby-Doo film.
They're finally here, everybody. We're finally talking about Scooby-Doo. You can stop leaving comments about every single week asking Jackson to finally pick Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the 2002 film. The basic TLDR of the plot is that the gang splits up after they continuously have like failures during their whatever shenanigans trying to uncover the mysteries of ghosts or whatever. And then they all get invited to an island, which is haunted or something. We don't entirely know, but they're all invited to this island separately. They all then come together onto this island to try to like solve the mystery of what's going on with like people acting weird. Turns out there's basically, it's not alien, but they're like some monster race or something that's like taking over the bodies of people. Like
they're demons.
Taking over their souls or some shit. And the gang comes together to stop that from happening. It turns out that Scrappy-Doo was the leader of all of this for some fucking reason, in some like human costume of Mr. Bean. And yeah, they solved the mystery. All the demons die because they're not good in the sun. And that's it, basically. And then it's done, and the movie's over.
All right, now, we've talked a lot about films like really feeling like a time capsule in various ways. Like, you know, we've had, like, the fucking Fast and the Furious. We've had, like, the Digimon movie in terms of, like, music and shit. But this movie, like, really encapsulates the fashion of the time.
Fred is so fucking old.
It took me a second to realize that. Yeah, Nico was commenting about that from the very start. Old?
That's something I pointed out while we were watching the movie.
Rest of the crew.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ, why does Fred look like he's fucking 40 years old? What's up with that? Jackson didn't have any idea what he was talking about until like he really got a good look at him, and then, oh boy, did Jackson come on over my way.
I still think he's pretty well cast. I can't complain.
You know,
Shaggy as well, honestly, looks very old for the sort of character they're trying to portray. How old are they supposed to be in this movie?
This is definitely supposed to be like, they've been doing this for a long while, so I'd say mid to late 20s.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Which, like, if that's the case, maybe they should have found someone a little bit younger for those two.
Perhaps.
Velma and Daphne look fine, though.
Shaggy did a very good job. He was the standout actor for me, at the very least, so
Shaggy did do a good job. He's a good Shaggy. That's why they keep using him in everything. Here's a major sort of a meta problem I have with this movie, and by extension, almost every Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah.
The entire point of every version of the Scooby-Doo show is that monsters are not real. And that's always some kind of scam, and that the supernatural isn't real and whatever. And I feel like in a solid chunk of all the movies, live action and animated, they decide, well, if we're making a movie out of the show, obviously we have to make the supernatural real now.
Yeah.
Which I think just isn't in the spirit of what this fucking series is supposed to be.
Yeah, what if Scooby-Doo, but the monsters really do exist?
Exactly. It's dumb.
I mean, I definitely get where you're coming from. It's not like that big of an issue for me personally, though. With this movie in particular, my bigger issue is just like the monsters look fucking horrendous. Like they are just vile.
You know, what I was gonna say is, the monsters do not blend in at all. You at no point are like, okay, these are like well done CG creatures that like blend into the scenes they're in. They're always like lit differently than their entire surroundings. For some reason, it worked for me. Where I was like, okay, yeah, these are like crazy monsters that look like they don't even fit in reality.
They're otherworldly beings. They shouldn't look like they exist.
They look like fucking
Digimon,
Rankin and Bass like creatures.
I could see it. Now, Tanner, one big question I do have for you: are you more of a Velma or Daphne guy?
With this specific incarnation, I'll go Velma.
Okay. How about like generally though?
I think generally I'm probably a Daphne.
Damn. Can you explain why to us, Tanner? Because Jackson and I just don't really get it.
I mean, the whole point of her is to be hot, so, like,
Velma?
Oh, did I say Velma?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant in general Daphne.
Okay, gotcha.
In this version, Velma.
Okay, gotcha. Happily we sussed that one out.
Right,
yeah,
of course.
I've never really understood it for the most part. I'm definitely more of a Daphne kind of guy.
I think the Velma hype is just because, it's weird repressed internet nerds and they're like, oh, she's just like me.
She's hiding a real dumpy under all that.
Mm-hmm. That too.
She's like a slightly chubby nerd, so she must have like fucking massive knockers.
Yeah, that's...
She wants to analyze my sperm under a microscope.
Jesus. What the fuck? Hey girl, you want to see
That's
my
what they're thinking, dude. That's what
ectoplasm?
they're all thinking. Now, in terms of the actual film, though, can you guys believe they cast Mr. Bean in this shit?
Honestly, it was weirding me out hearing his, like, voice and it not be, like, some stupid fucking, like, like a stupid fucking voice.
Yeah.
He just sounds like a normal dude. Honestly, I can't remember. Did he even have a British accent?
I don't remember, Jackson, do you?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well,
let's assume he didn't.
Crazy. He's truly an actor of all time.
Yeah. Allegedly, from what I've heard, a lot of people think that like British actors are able to pull off an American accent much better than Americans are able to pull off a British accent. Do you guys feel like that tracks?
No, I have no evidence of either. I don't care.
I think the thing is, whenever we hear a British person speaking in a quote-unquote American accent, I don't think we ever think, oh, that's like my kind of American accent. We're just like, oh, sure, that's an American accent.
Okay.
I don't know which one, but...
That's fair enough.
I think it's just because we I don't think, since we're a bigger country, I don't think we have as much exposure to, each other's different accents, like, across our geography. Whereas in Britain, they're all closed in together, that when an American tries to do a British accent, they're like, that doesn't sound anything like a Gloucestershire accent. Or whatever the fuck. Those goofy fucks.
Those goofy little men.
Anyway, the plot in this movie is fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, it's pretty dumb.
It's dumb and bad and not really good.
But Jackson, Tanner, didn't you get like a nice nostalgia blast watching it?
A little bit. Some of the hijinks and the misadventures, if you will, I got some nostalgia, but it's empty calories,
How was the hilarity that was ensuing?
The hilarity that was ensuing, when it did ensue, it ensued pretty hard, but I don't know if it was ensuing all of the time.
Okay. Sorry, Jackson just sent me a fucking crazy message.
Yeah, I sent myself a reminder like last week, and I don't think the text-to-speech heard me properly, or the speech-to-text, I guess, heard me properly, so it wrote down swap maze with Nico. I don't know what the fuck it's trying to get me to swap with him, but it had something to do with the podcast, and I forgot, and the reminder did not help, so unlucky.
Huh.
Oh well.
We'll never
Rather
know.
strange.
Oh, it was mics, that's what it was. We were gonna swap microphones to see if you sounded like ass with mine.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oops. Oh,
Next time.
Yeah, I set myself another reminder.
Jackson, do you have any thoughts? What are your thoughts on this movie, rather?
Yeah, the plot's pretty nonsensical and stupid. The acting's okay. It definitely feels like a time capsule. CG is fucking horrible. Pretty pointless overall. Comedy was funny in some places, but most of the time it was pretty boring. That's about it. I was very let down, to be honest. I mean, I didn't really expect much going into this movie, and I literally only picked it for nostalgia. But yeah, it really didn't sit with me at all.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, what did you really expect going into this shit?
Not much, and it under-delivered. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I remember as a kid being kind of, like, scared by, like, the intro clown part.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like I like the clown part to start more than the rest of the whole fucking movie, which is unfortunate.
To be fair, that clown design was really fucking creepy.
It was.
Now, one question I do have for you guys. So, like, you know, in terms of, like, things that, like, really scared you as a child and, like, media and shit like that, can you, like, really think of anything that comes to mind immediately?
The next movie.
Okay.
I can't really think of anything that, like, super scared me as a child.
Okay, gotcha.
Waxworks.
Yeah, because when, like, Jackson brought that up, that he was, like, really spooked of that clown, it reminded me of, like, this fucking iceberg video I watched recently where it was, like, things that scarred us all as children, where it was just, like, talking about, like, various, like, children's media where, like, something spooky would happen that, like, apparently scared a lot of people. And I just, like, really wasn't a big fan of that video, you know? Because, like, he was too understanding of people's fears as children, of, like, things that scarred them. Because he'd bring up things where it's like, in this one episode of My Little Pony, Pinkie Pie makes this really weird face, and that scared a lot of people. And you know what? I get it. Like, I can see why someone gets scared of this. And fucking... don't pander to these dumbasses, okay? Tell them that they're pussies, alright? Like, we all had those moments. We all had things that we were terrified of as small children. And, like, yeah, looking back on it, we were fucking pussies. Just tell them that. Don't try and, like, you know, be even-handed about this shit. Tell them how it is.
Lay down the fucking law.
Yeah. I was terrified of this one character from VeggieTales growing up, and you know what? Looking back on it, I don't think it was that creepy at all, and I just think I was being a little too sensitive as a tyke.
What character?
We've talked about this before. It was fucking in, like, the Anastasia movie, where there was, like, this Grim Reaper-looking dude who, like, had a feather and he would tickle people and bring them to Tickle Island.
Ah, yes, of course.
Yeah.
You were just afraid of Jeffrey Epstein.
Exactly. And with that, guys, I'm thinking we should move on to the rankings here. Now, of course, Dylan isn't here right now, but he watched the movie, and his rating for this film, guys, was a heckin' C+.
Okay.
Now, compared to you, Tanner, how's that looking?
I'm gonna give Scooby-Doo 2002 a flat C.
A flat C. Huh.
It's okay, you know. It's you know, it's just a thing, you know. Damian Lillard and Scooby. You know, I'll give one more piece of positive praise. I feel like I've been pretty negative, which might not justify my ranking right now. I do like how they treat Scooby-Doo like a cartoon. Still, they let him do like cartoon physics and shit. I thought that was enjoyable.
I can see that. However, at the same time, the CGI sucks ass, and I didn't like it. I'm giving this movie a D.
I thought Scooby, I don't know. I feel like Scooby worked for me, personally.
Honestly, I don't think Scooby himself even really looked that bad. Like, they definitely put a lot of effort into the actual, like, animation of it. It's just, you know, the technology wasn't fully there at the time. But yeah, I'm giving this movie a D+.
Crazy.
And that makes it a C- overall.
Nice.